Yo, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another brand new video. Hope you all are having a great day, a awesome day, and all positive days possible, okay? And hope you guys are healthy and safe in this pandemic. Your families are also safe. So today we're going to be learning something really important, which is the basics of OOP, which stands for Object-Oriented Programming, all right? So before starting this video, I want to say that if you didn't subscribe yet in my channel, consider subscribing and smash that like button so hard that it turns blue. It will really help me out. I appreciate that if you did that already, and I still appreciate that because you're watching this video. All right, so let's get started. So first of all, what is O and P? What is this? People are talking about it's really important. What is this OOP? Well, it stands for Object-Oriented Programming. Well, what does that mean? So before that, let me tell you what is a procedural programming. Okay, so a procedural programming is a programming where you write functions and data, and where the functions can perform operations on the data. All right, so suppose this is your function, this is your data, so it can perform operations in the data. Okay, so this is called procedural PHP. But in object-oriented programming, what is it? Is actually you make a class, you make an object. Okay, you make an object. This is not the oh, sorry, let me do it properly. So suppose this is our object. Okay, sorry for my drawing. So this is our object, and in that object you contain both functions and data which can perform operations within it. Okay, so this is called object-oriented programming. Alright, so enough of explaining you in this drawing thing, which is really bad. So let's go to the code and see what I'm actually talking about. So in object-oriented programming, how do we use it is we always have to make a class. Alright, so create a file. If you're create a file and just go there and just create a file. Okay, create a file. I just called it example.php. You can also call it this, no problem. Then open up your PHP tags. Then what you're going to do is, first of all, what we're going to do is we have to create a class. Okay, so how do we do that? Simply we say class. Then the name of the class, I'm going to say it is fruit, and make sure the name of the class, the front letter is uppercase. Okay, then we're going to open up curly braces, and then we're going to, yeah, that's it. We're going to open up curly braces, and this is our class. All right, so in here we can write datas and functions. Oh, all right, one more thing I forgot to say. What do I mean by data? Actually, data means variables, arrays, and all those stuff. All right, so in here in class we can write datas, functions all together. Okay, so right here we're going to make a function first of all. Okay, so let's just create a function very fast. We're going to say this function is called apple. All right, right here. So we just created a function, and in this function what it's going to do is just simply going to echo out apple. Okay, apple right there. All right, so here we go, guys. We created our class, and we also made a function inside that class, as I said before. All right, so now what we can do is we can use these functions of this class. So how do we use the functions inside a class? Well, before that, I don't like this. Why Python? I'm just doing PHP. Oh, okay, never mind. So before that, guys, before using this function, what we need to do is, suppose this is our class right here. All right, this is our class. So this is actually our class. Class with functions and data. All right, so what we have to do is we have to make a copy of this class. Okay, first of all we have to make a copy of this class. All right, then what we have to do after making this copy, then only then we can use the functions and all those datas, and we can get access to those things. All right, and why is that? Because this is the way you write object-oriented programming. Okay, you use classes. All right, so not write object-oriented programming, but this is how you use classes. All right, so we have to make a copy or blueprint or instance, you can call it, but instance is actually the proper word, so I'm going to use instance. So we have to create an instance of this original class, and then we can use the functions and the data of it. All right, so we're gonna rub this thing. And by the way, it is not the only way you can access the functions and the data. There's another way, which is static way, but I'm not gonna cover that right here. I'm just gonna cover the instance thing right here. All right, so in order to create a blueprint or a copy of the class, what you need to do is just create a variable where we will be saving that blueprint or the copy. So let's say that this is the class, okay, and we made a blueprint right here. All right, so this blueprint, we have to save it somewhere. All right, and that we're gonna do it right here in fruits. Okay, oh that went too big. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna say fruit is equal to new. All right, so we have to use this tag new, then fruit, the name of the class. All right, and that's it, guys. We just created a copy of this class, and we just made a copy and saved it right in the fruits. Okay, so first of all, we made a copy and save it inside fruit. All right, so now we can call this function apple. All right, so how we're gonna call that is to type the instance name. All right, type the instance name, which is an instance of this fruit, which is the instance of the fruit. Okay, so we're gonna type the instance name. We're gonna say minus, and we're gonna make a arrow sign like this. Okay, we're gonna make an arrow sign like this. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna call this apple function. All right, and that's it. We just called a function inside a class, guys. Great. Now let's check it out, because it should echo out apple. All right, so let's go to our let's go to your browser and just refresh that. Here you go, guys. You can see there is apple right there echoing out, and our class is working. All right, great. So now what we're gonna do is, guys, we're gonna look at let me explain you what happened here. So first of all, I told you we have, I don't know how many times I told it, but still. So we created a copy, then we saved it in the variable fruit. Okay, now which means this full thing is inside this fruit as a blueprint or a copy or instance. Okay, so this fruit has all of these things, and then we're calling this copies fruit method. So we're saying fruit because in fruit we have saved the copy, right? And we're calling the apple function of that copy. And as you know, the apple function of that copy will be this function, which echoes out apple. So we're getting the apple. All right, guys. So this is how we are calling a function inside a class. All right. So that was function, but what about data? All right. So let's go type some data, and we're gonna make a variable right here. All right, so in order to make a variable inside a class, what you need to do is say var, then a $sign, because this, guys, only dollar won't work. Okay, this is how you create a variable inside a class. Okay, so you're gonna say var, then you're gonna just name it, I'm just gonna name it orange, then we're gonna say equals to var orange equals to orange. Okay, so this contains this value now. So what we want is to actually echo this out. All right, so what we need to, how can we echo this out? Same thing, guys. We're gonna call the instance name, we're gonna give the arrow, then we're gonna call the variable. But guys, there's one thing that you need to know, that we don't need a $sign anymore. Okay, so that is the thing that you need to know, is call the instance name, then call the name of the variable only without the $sign, because we don't need the $sign anymore. PHP already recognizes this as a variable. Okay, so we have to call the orange only the name, okay, not the $sign. So it's going to detect that. Now what we have to do is simply just going to echo that out, and before that, let me just add a break tag right here. We're going to say break right there, so it just makes it colon. So come here in browser and refresh that. Voila, there we go, guys. We just called a variable of a class, and we now have apple and orange. Great, we have two fruits, we have to eat them, right? Okay guys, so this was all for this part, guys. This video is going to take long if if I cover up every single thing of the basics of object-oriented programming. So I'm leaving I'm cutting it off. I hope I see you in the part 2 of the basics of the object-oriented programming. Alright guys, so see you until then. Until next time guys, love you all. I'm out.